Galaxies and empty space inside, but I don't wanna walk the longest way, or wait a million years to see your day. We fold the heavy fabric of the night and step completely past the speed of light. A secret tunnel opening for me across the magic heart. solitary, quiet spell. I turn my compass toward the rising set and follow where the hidden message went. The gradient is pulling me along, a silent end, intoxicating song. The current flows, the longing grows. I am the chemist's axis drawn to you, the only destination that is true. A river of devotion tracing back along the invisible and sweetened track. I swim against the heavy rushing stream to find the center of this awakened dream. I am the chemist's axis drawn to you, the only destination that is true. A river of devotion tracing back along the invisible and sweetened track. I swim against the heavy rushing stream to find the center of this awakened dream. Drop, gradient, send. They built a solid wall of heavy stone to guarantee that we would be alone. The energy required was too high to ever reach the other side and fly. But love ignores the physics of the tall and simply passes right across the wall. A sudden leap across the great divide, with nowhere for the miracles to hide. The barrier breaks, the spirit wakes. Ah. has begun in the quiet night. A river of devotion coming near to wash away the distance and the fear. The closer that you get, the higher tone to prove that I will never be The compression of the wave is sweet and clear, a perfect promise that you will be here. The sound is rising to an urgent peak, with every single word you softly speak. I am the blue ship rushing to the light. The brightest beacon in the quiet night. A river of devotion coming near to wash away the distance and the fear. The closer that you get, the higher tone to prove that I will never be alone. Closer, shift, wavelength. I used to let my energy escape and lose my color in a muted shade. I radiated out into the chill and left my inner spirit dark and still. But then you formed a boundary and a glass, and wouldn't let the fading sunlight pass. The angle shifted at the very edge, fulfilling the illuminating pledge. The glow remains inside the veins. I am the reflection glowing from the core. I will not let the fire outdoor. A river of devotion trapped inside, with nowhere for the brilliant rays to hide. past was heavy and holding me down. A prisoner locked in a desolate town. The atmosphere crushed every hope that I found, and chained my desires right into the ground. But you are the fuel and the ultimate spark to launch my machinery out of the dark. The engines awake with a thunderous roar to shatter the locks on the gravity's door. as the universe reels. I am the slingshot, propelled by your sphere, accelerating out of the atmosphere. A sudden collision of gravity's grace to launch me so deep into beautiful space. I captured your speed as I hurried on by to soar through the limits and open the sky. I am the slingshot, propelled by your sphere, accelerating out of the atmosphere. A sudden collision of gravity's grace to launch me so deep into beautiful space. I captured your speed as I hurried on by to soar through the limits and open the sky. Slingshot. Orbit. I was a tangle of a broken thread, a scattered sequence of the things I said. I lost the structure that I used to know and couldn't find the proper way to go. You wrapped your shelter around my fragile form to keep me safely hidden from the storm. You guided every rhythm to its place and brought me back to my original grace. The folding is right in the middle of the night. I am the shepherd on the healing hedge, completely from the well, displacing all the sorrow and the weight, to save me from a dark and falling fate. The density shifts, and the heavy heart lifts. I am the buoyancy, the rising grace, returning to the sunlit open space, a river of devotion, upward bound, the softest elevation I have found. You hold me gently in the liquid glow and save me from the gravity below. I am the buoyancy, the rising grace, returning to the sunlit open space, a river of devotion, upward bound, the softest elevation I have found. You hold me gently in that liquid glow and save me from the gravity below. Display. The summer sun was beating on the land and burning up the surface of the sand. But I am like the ocean, vast and deep, absorbing all the fires that you weep. You pour your heavy sorrow into me. And I remain a calm and steady sea. I take the heat and never start to boil, to save you from the trouble and the toil. The temperature holds, the grace unfolds. I am the reservoir, the deepest blue, a resting place for everything you do, a river of devotion, the quiet miracles begin. I shelter you from all the blazing light and keep you in the comfortable night. Dropping out in the cold, a messy disorder that started to get old, but then you fell into my chaotic sea and brought a perfect geometry to me. The atoms align in a beautiful row, a structure design in the planetary glow. The chaos retreats as the energy meets. I am the crystal, a shade from the glass, a sudden perfection. with nothing to alter this pathway of mine. A lonely momentum that couldn't be slowed, while walking the length of a desolate road, until I collide and merge with your pace, and found a new vector inside of the space. The friction is gone and the velocity clear, with nothing to stop us from traveling here. The energy flows, the certainty grows. A body in flight, refusing to stop in the middle of night. A constant connection, resilience and strong. Exactly the place where my travels belong. We carry the mass of a beat, refusing to stop in the middle of night. A constant connection, resilient and strong. Exactly the place where my travels belong. We carry the mass of a beauty, a beautiful dream, and ride on the crest of a permanent stream. Aim for the north in a logical mind, and lift all the shifting equations behind. But out on the ocean, the planet will spin and alter the place where the journeys begin. An unseen momentum that alters the chart and curves my trajectory right to your heart. The latitude drops as the hemisphere turns. impulses into